Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday's review of the markets, Friday's outlook. It's Friday the 15th of October. Just discussing how quickly this year's going. Anyway, let's have a look at the risk events that are due today. There's not a great deal. US retail sales might give us a kicker at 130. And manufacturing index, again, the three all come out together. So it's the core retail sales, it's the main number there. Aside of that, we've got consumer sentiment. That doesn't really do a great deal. I would have that in yellow. It's very light, and a speaker later on, by the time he's speaking, we'll have stopped trading. I would have anyway. So not a great deal. Let's go and have a look at the currencies first in terms of what's going on. Got a bit of a bounce going on after, well, I say bounce, it followed through and pushed up positively yesterday, but it just stalled into its daily R1, sold off from that sort of level, and well, did look like it was going to come off a little bit more after that. But at the moment we've got these little high lows, high highs coming through. I'm not totally convinced by this price action, but it might have some more in it. As I said yesterday, we've got the high lows coming through it anyway. It's just a sort of just a bit of maybe looking at the dailies here, just a swing around at the end there. Now if it's going to be something a bit more significant, it'll probably break and close above that daily 21, and then it starts sort of, you start looking at it a little bit more positively for more upside. It still has the untouched monthly pivot there at 1684 in the black line there, sitting there. So perhaps it's on its way up to that sort of direction. Not overly positive on it today. The pound yesterday likewise shot up at one stage, and then just again early morning just pushed up there, and that was that. It spent most of the day then selling off a little bit, catching a bounce again today, and the same sort of price action. Maybe we've got some more gas in the tank for this morning post 8 o'clock, but I'm wary of these both these markets. Dollar yen, oops, bring it into play, that'd be good. Dollar yen. Yen's been softening and continuing to soften. With some of these markets, I'm having to look out on the bigger sort of time frames, and we're sort of looking. We haven't been to these levels for a long time. The US dollar pushing up, but there is a key level, if only I could say it, just above us at around about 114.40, sort of in that area. Those prior highs all sitting around there. It was fired off previously, so I'm just watching that sort of area for resistance on that, but not necessarily wanting to trade it through into that sort of level or try to sell into that level. But it's just an awareness if I'm trading any of the yen on the opposite side, i.e. with a different currency. But for now, pushing up. There is some divergence sitting across the 4 hours here, but it's been there for quite a while and it's still pushing up. Well, there we are. So yen still weakening. Aussie dollar, I mean, we really are getting to this point when I say coming to the Aussie dollar is here, where we're seeing the strong commodity currencies, the Aussie, the Canadian dollar, and the softer currencies, which they're doing okay, but the likes of the Aussie dollar here pushing up strongly again yesterday, and already this morning it's getting a bit of a shift on consolidation through the Asian session there, but but it's pushed up this morning right now. And looking of the markets that are pushing up, well, this one looks like, it's coming back to the 4 hours here with the high lows, higher highs. It looks like it's a reasonable buy opportunity, but just needed a retracement to get into it at the moment. So Canadian dollar, so same situation here. Strong commodity currency, really benefiting from the oil prices there, and still selling strongly to the downside. So it makes some of the cross pairs look more attractive. I spoke earlier in the week. I think I can't remember how long I've been in this trade now, since last week, since the 6th or something like that, sitting in this Euro CAD for example, and it's just literally yep, we had a couple of days ago we had a bit of a blip in there, but yesterday sold off strongly again, closed below the lows there, and is looking really for a sort of more holding position at the moment, and currencies like this, just holding it, not looking for intraday targets necessarily. I was just looking a short while ago, weekly wise we're into some previous lows at the moment, but there's potential for this to just continue. So some of those cross pairs, if you can get on the train, jump aboard. I mean, this Euro CAD is given so many opportunities. That sort of a couple of days ago when it pulled up there on Wednesday there, and it just sort of yeah, there was opportunities to get into it, and it's just having the confidence to jump aboard. Anyway, morning Steve. So yeah, plenty of yeah, it's well worth looking around some of the crosses against the majors there. Right, euro yen. Actually, this is. I mean, we look at the euro. I look at the euro yen a lot. This is a 4-hourly chart. Let's just go to dailies, and of course that's doing well. But you look at some of the commodity currencies against the yen, and well, they're even stronger. I mean, they've really pushed up there, and it really is a case of looking maybe for some of the sort of weaker and stronger markets, and see if we can get a bit more of a trend out of them. Right, okay, that's that. Let's have a look at gold. Gold was doing well when I looked at it yesterday, and it didn't do too much more. When I looked at it yesterday morning, it had been doing quite well. I'm still not really convinced it's sort of getting there. Maybe, as I said yesterday, it'll work its way back towards these prior highs at 18.29 at some stage, but it's slow this morning, selling this morning, whilst everything else is doing okay. No real divergence, maybe a bit of RSI divergence there would be. There we go, sitting there, looking a bit softer, but it's more of a holding currency. Trade, if you were a bit to looking at that. Oil, well, oil's just continuing to rise. I mean, I think the $100 may be on a lot of people's mind here. Every time, I should imagine, there's a lot of shorts building up. There's a squeeze going on, and we're seeing this sort of. I mean, yesterday again, it just started pushing back up quite solidly. A little bit later yesterday, it's a bit of a dance with the stocks coming out. It didn't really help things, but US stocks, but it's certainly pushing up there. It's just getting in. It's not always so easy. I mean, I left it yesterday because of the stock results. So looking back, even Harry Hindsight didn't give a decent, really an obvious signal there, but there we are. Okay, that's the commodities. Let's run through, look at the cryptos and the indices. Just use this. I'm on crypto, so may as well carry on looking at it. So Bitcoin already pushing through. There's some intermediate. I was looking through some intermediate highs. It's now pushing into. I mentioned sort of the $60, $60,000. Yeah, a bit of bargain. $60,000 sort of level, but it's pushing up for that sort of rate. And we're really having to come out to sort of look at sort of the bigger time frames here. I'm just looking at this on a monthly basis at the moment, just to get some sort of idea. Don't want to see all of it, but there we are. So to see where we're sort of sitting here, and well, it's looking like the we could be pushing through eventually here. Right, let's move this back to a daily. Ethereum, it started to catch up a little bit now. Yesterday it eventually broke out there, and Ripple stuck. So really, it is a Bitcoin Ethereum sort of show at the moment. These others they're somewhat stuck into range. not really doing the same sort of movement. It's all about Bitcoin, Ethereum following through and pushing up for the previous highs. Good hold at the moment still, in my opinion. There we go. Right, let's have a look at the indices. Looking through Chinese index, still consolidated here, not really moving too well at all there, just stuck. Good gap up last night through the Asian session on the Nikkei, and we've seen this sort of on the markets, the S&Ps yesterday pushing up there quite strongly, putting a higher low in now. It's looking a bit more solid. Maybe we've got a bit more of a correction here. I'm still sort of looking at this and wondering how much, whether it's going to push back up to the highs or whether we're going to see a roll back at some point. So I'm not convinced. Looking at London markets just opened, and the FTSE is just making new time highs here. I don't know how far back this is going in terms of it, but it's making some new highs there. FTSE is flying. Maybe because of the weighting of the energy companies it's sitting, or some of the energy companies in there, but certainly pushing through at the moment. Looking elsewhere into the DAX, let's have a look at the DAX. Somewhat slower. The FTSE is well ahead of its European markets there, isn't it? Make sure I have got the FTSE and nothing else. I was looking at the FTSE, yes I was, just going back and checking. Well and truly outstretching its the other markets there. So solid old push with the FTSE. Other markets, well, they're sort of gaining better, and as I said, with these other markets, I'm looking at them wondering whether they'll roll back, particularly the S&Ps there. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I'm going to leave you to it. I wish you a great day, great weekend, and I'll catch you back on Monday. Bye for now. Oh, can we expect a correction around? On Bitcoin, can we? I would be surprised if we don't see some selling coming in about the 60k mark. But there may be people that think, well, hang on a minute, let's just squeeze out the shorts, and there are some shorts, I'm sure, sitting in there now as we push up towards these highs. People will get much more. I mean, there's probably more trading volume going backwards and forwards there. So it'll be an interesting battle around the 60k. Anyway, I'll be sitting and watching it with interest. I wish you a great weekend, and maybe over the weekend we'll see that battle will take part. Thanks all. Oh, just to remind you, we've got 2 free days in our trading room. I'll put a link on the bottom of this for later on today, and you'll be able to join it from there. Okay, right. Bye for now. That's them done.